Welcome to Empower World, transforming leaders, changing lives and creating legacies. My name's Marie Quigley.
And mine is Jeanine Bailey.
And today we'd like to talk to you about values. And values is a huge topic, but a big topic in our training programs, in our general conversations that we have every day with each other. So what is it about values, Jeanine, that we'd like to share with everyone?
Well, really, they are one of the most important, if not the most important thing to understand when we are wanting to create our success, whatever that version is for ourselves, and in terms of being able to make decisions powerfully and with intention. So values, we all have values, but often they are unconscious things. We might be aware of our top 1, 2, or 3 values, but often if we haven't done the work that we do in terms of creating that conscious awareness of what our values are in terms of our higher, wiser part of ourselves, then potentially we're not really aware what they are. And these things are the things that are most important to us. So they are not physical things, they are things like potentially freedom, wisdom, love, trust. It's things like this. So they're things that can't actually be put into a wheelbarrow. So we all have values, and it's when we're living out of alignment with our top values, that is when we will potentially feel lost or stuck, or we're not living on purpose, or something's missing. So when we're not clear of what it is that are our top values, then we will be just drifting along. Whereas if we know what our top values are, then we can make decisions easily, effortlessly, if they can tick off what our top value, if we're meeting our top values.
Yeah, and we all have different areas of our life that we have. We have our family, we have our relationships, we have our career, we have our personal development and our spiritual growth. And within each of these areas, we can have different values. And what you find by looking at the areas of each of those segments of your life that's important, some of your top values will cross over. And you'll find that, gosh, that value is here, and it's in this segment, and it's in all of the relationship. They all have a relationship to each other in sharing with you what's important, what makes your heart sing. And it's when you aren't aware of those values, or when you aren't living those values, that you get that discomfort. You get that uncomfortable feeling where you know something isn't quite right, but you're not just sure what it is.
Absolutely. And values, the way that we create values, it is very often at an unconscious level. It's something that we've learned from the day we were born, or potentially even before, some people will say. So we're inheriting what's gone on in the past. So often our values will be formed as a result of what our family believes, what our parents believe, what our culture believes, what our country believes. So for example, in Australia, where I'm from, there's a belief, and it's a generalization, of course, so potentially it's a lie, but people should only rise to a certain level, and everyone should be fairly equal. So if anyone goes beyond what people consider to be the normality, then potentially people will come down and cut those tall poppies down. So and this is just a generalization. So these values can be formed at a very close in close proximity to ourselves in terms of our parents, but also go beyond in terms of our culture and values. So often we will be carrying around values that actually are not important to us. They're important to things outside of us. And so that's when we're making decisions according to other people, what's important to other people, other things, and not what is important to ourselves. So when we ask ourselves questions to really identify those deeper personal values, that is when power, our own personal power, can start to come into light. That's when we can take control of our destiny. That's when we can start to make things happen according to our purpose, according to why we are potentially here, because our highest values will potentially, if not be, what is our purpose? What is it we are here for in this life?
Yeah. And it's an interesting thing as we go through life that very few of us sit down and think, well, what are my values? I know I didn't really think about it before I came into the world of coaching. So a great question to ask yourself as we're closing off the vlog today is, in the context of all the areas of your life, what is important to you? What really matters to you? And take a pen and paper and list those words that come up for you, and ask yourself again, what is important for me in this area of your life? And when it resonates with you, when it really starts to make you think, yes, without this in my life, I wouldn't be satisfied or I wouldn't be happy, then you're starting to really look at the top values for yourself.
Yeah, and great questions to start asking, and really start to notice where you put your time and energy, because that is where your top values may lie. And again, it may be because of a belief that I should be doing this versus what's really, really important to me at my heart and soul level.
Yeah.
So being really aware of what you want to own, check in with your heart and your mind to ensure that the values that you start to decide are for you, and therefore what you will utilize as your compass for making decisions. That is going to be very powerful.
Yeah. Also, if there's something that you want and you've been wanting for it for a long time and it's been sitting with you, and that's one of your values. It's something that's calling you to really step up and do something about, and that's a big wake-up call for something that is really valuable to you, your value, to help you really achieve what it is that you want to achieve.
Yeah. And one extra tip, think about the things that actually make you boil, that actually make you angry. Again, those sort of things, they serve a purpose. They're here to tell you that there is something behind that tells you is important. So what is the value that is being trodden on, that is not being fulfilled, that is important to you, that you need to start honouring?
I think that's enough on values for today. There's so much more we could talk about. If you are interested and want to learn more, come and join one of our programs where we do even deeper work on values. So we look forward to hearing about your experience about discovering your own values, and we look forward to seeing you and hearing from you either on our next vlog or through some of the lovely emails you're sending us. Great to see you.
Thank you for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you next week.